Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Outside today, we wanted to tell you about the brand new flagship hunting bow from Bear Archery for 2024. This is the Persist. Great new hunting bow from the folks at Bear that has a lot of the technologies that Bear has had for the last several years built into this bow, maximized especially for those bow hunters out there. A couple cool features specific to that end we're going to tell you about with the Bear Persist. All right, the Bear Persist, what are we looking at here? First off, we're looking at 31 inches axle to axle. We've got a rotating mod for the draw length on the EKO cam, Echo cam. This is a cam that Bear has had the last couple years, super efficient cam. And what we're looking at for draw length range, we've got 26 to 30 inches in half-inch increments on this rotating mod. Now, what Bear does is they have a unique system for let-off. The let-off on the Persist is going to be adjustable. You're going to be able to go from 75, 80, 85, or 90%. And what you're going to do, it's going to be a combination of the position of this draw stop here. You can see you've got different holes. That's going to affect the let-off. And also you're going to spin it in different directions. There's a plus and a minus on the module. And depending on which way the arrow on the draw stop, that's going to change that let-off. Again, to give you that range, 75, 80, 85, or 90%. That just allows you to get the draw weight to feel the way you want it to be. You know, at that back wall, if you like a lot of holding weight, you can go down to that 75%. If you want to, be able to stand there all day, you can go up to 90%. So adjustability there in that draw stop. So on the Persist, we do have a 6.5 inch brace height. That's part of the power system that gets you to that 340 feet per second IBO rating. 6.5 inches, that's kind of, I'll call that middle of the road. 6 inches and under is where you're going to go for those speed bows. 7 inches is going to be the most forgiving that you're going to see in hunting lineups. So 6.5, kind of the middle there. It gets you that speed, but it's also going to be a little more forgiving than 6 inches on that brace height. So 6.5, that's a nice, generous brace height. For your draw weight, there's going to be two options for the Persist. It's going to be either 45 to 60 pounds, or it's going to be 55 to 70. That's what I have here. And of course, you're just turning the limb bolt. That's going to give you 15 pounds of adjustment on each of the two different models. So right here, threaded in through that limb pocket, you're going to see this device here. Obviously, for bow hunters who hunt from tree stands, that's going to be where you hook up and haul up into the tree. No more taking the carabiners and, connecting them directly to the cam. You don't want to do that. That can damage, and it's loud, metal on metal. No more running around the limbs. You can just hook right there, haul your bow up to the tree stand. As well, you're going to have these ports right here on the top and the bottom. That is for quick disconnects for your bow sling. Going into the backcountry, you'll be able to connect your sling, carry this bow over your shoulder. Now, coming down through the riser, you're going to see these discs. You're going to see one up top, one on the bottom. There's actually two. They're double-sided. That is what Bear calls their in-riser dampening technology. That will attack vibration. When those limbs come back to their resting position at the shot, right there underneath the limb pocket, you're going to have these babies to absorb some of that shock from the limbs going off. Couple cool new things. So one thing Bear wanted to do this year with the Persist was allow, all kinds of connections for accessories onto this bow. Folks who really like the streamlined effect of their bows, like to get everything as tight as possible so that the bow doesn't have a wide footprint. We've got a Picatinny Mount right here, Picatinny rail on the front of the bow here. If you've got one of those sights that mounts onto a pick mount, you can put that on there, or if you just have a standard sight, you can bolt onto the side. But that pick mount there, you know, that gets rid of this on the side here. Your sight just comes off the front, super streamlined. In connection with that, they also have a dovetail. So this dovetail on the back here will allow you to install one of those integrate style rests. You can just connect it to the back, you know, they clamp on, they're super solid. I have a standard bolt-on rest here, but it would do away with all this on the side and your rest would just be attached to the back there. So you can imagine if you have an integrate rest as well as a sight mounted on the Picatinny rail, you've taken everything off the side of this bow there. Streamlined, that's what we want to get there. So built into the riser as well, right here, you're going to see a bubble. Level, something for you to look at when you're at full draw. You know, obviously you're always going to have one in your sight, but you can also check the one in your riser. Even more so, however, that's going to prevent you, you know, when you are leveling your sight, you've got the bow in a vise and you're trying to set your second and third axis on your sights, make sure the level. You're always going to take a level and attach it to the riser. Well, you don't have to do that. Bear put one into the riser for you already. So it's super handy. Now coming down, something I like that Bear added to the Persist this year is something simple. Just this rubber plate here for the shelf. You know, this is where your broadhead's gonna sit. If it comes off the rest, you know, there's just arrow contact on the shelf here. And that's a very metallic sound, except if you got this rubber pad here. So I don't know, I just like that rubber pad on there just as something that's going to make this bow even more quiet. Again, bow hunting, that's what we like. Coming down to the grip, we got a nice rubbery grip here that's going to be warm on those cold hunts in the fall. It's also got a little bit of tack to it, so if it's hot, your hand's not going to slide all over the place. It's going to stick to that rubber a little bit. And what's nice is they've got a little channel running down the center of the grip here. Gives you a nice way to index, to feel your hand, make sure it's in the right place every time. I can feel that channel so I can get it to the same spot time and time again. Corresponding with that, I got the channel on the front. Again, get my hand in there. I can feel for that channel. Just rest my finger so I know I'm getting the same consistent hand placement time after time. Now moving down, again, all in the name of eliminating excess hardware and streamlining things, Bear has a built-in position for a wrist sling. So you can see it's threaded through the riser here, and then in the back, you've got a set screw. There's an Allen screw in there. I would loosen that, and that would allow me to, you know, get this sling set the way I want it. But no bolt, you know, usually these wrist slings, they're bolted onto the front. Either you hold them in place with your stabilizer or you add a quick disconnect mount. You don't have to do that to take care of the sling. It's just threaded through the riser. For your stabilizer connection, pretty standard here on the Bear. You've got your front stabilizer bushing and you've got one on the back down low. If you want to run a side rod and you want to lower that weight, you can do that. So shooting the Bear Persist. First off, I set this up in the shop, you know, put my rest on, got my peep height, checked my cam timing, went out to the range, shot through paper, was able to get a bullet hole very quickly simply by rest movements, getting that center shot, got a nice bullet hole, and then shooting it, especially shooting it at 20 yards. This thing was pounding. Those wide limbs, you know, that definitely helps when you're back there at full draw, helps with that stability. Minimal hand shock, as we always expect from a Bear with all that dampening in there. Just the sort of setup that you're gonna like for bow hunting. You know, you want that thing to be fast, you want it to be quiet, you want it to be stable. All those things I found with the Bear Persist. At full draw, I have it set at maximum let off for 90%. So when I came back to full draw, you can just stand there all day. Coming outside here, shooting it at distance, full draw, My pin was able to sit. I was shooting at 60 yards. One of the things I like to see is does my pin want to wander all over the place? It did not. It sat there nice. Hour of flight looked good. Just a great shooting hunting bow from the folks at Bear. All right, so that is the brand new Bear Persist. Great new hunting bow, flagship hunting bow from the folks at Bear Archery for 2024. If you want to see this bow on our website to check out all the different options, the colors, things like that you can get, be sure to click the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.